Hello, hi. Hello, everyone. This is Niroshan Malam Pitike, an agile coach, personal branding coach. Today, we're going to talk about something absolutely critical for all of you, particularly if you're someone who wants to be great, who wants to build up your personal branding online as well as offline. So the topic that we're going to discuss is absolutely game changing, absolutely crucial. So without further ado, let me introduce the topic. As you see on the screen, what we're going to discuss today are the secret pillars of LinkedIn success. Now, for that, I have two special guests who are experts on the field, who have been on the social media, building and optimizing their brands. So, let me introduce, first of all, our special guest, Amita Amarasinghe. Let me bring Amita onto the screen. Hi, Amita.
Hi Niroshan, hi, how are you? And a very good evening to everyone who is connecting in.
Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for making it. It's absolutely my privilege to have you for the show. Knowing that the insights coming from you will be absolutely important for everyone listening to us. Yeah. So I'll introduce Sasanka and then let's do a quick check-in afterwards. Yeah.
Sure.
Hello. Hi, Sasanka.
Hi, Niroshan. Hi, Amita. Good evening to you both and to everyone joining us. It's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining it, Sasanka. So again, your insights for the community will be absolutely crucial. What we are going to do is share paid contents, right? It's the same contents that Amita would sell in his workshops and trainings, and it's the same thing with Sasanka as well. I, of course, do not sell a lot of social media content, but but this is something that has personally changed my game, my career as well. So I'm going to share some of the wisdom from my end as well. So with that, let's jump in. So first of all, I would like to do a quick check-in. So can I invite Amita and Sasank for you to give a quick introduction yourself? Just tell us who you are.
All right, so I'll go first.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So you already know I'm Amita Amarasinghe. Currently, I'm working as the Chief Operating Officer for Ogilvy Digital in Sri Lanka. And at the same time, yes, I've been like serving as a trainer, digital marketing trainer in various institutes, and I'm a visiting lecturer at a couple of local universities for the subject of digital marketing. And the career in digital, I started back in 2004. Now I've been in this trade for about like 15, 16 years and working with some of the multinational and local brands, getting their digital strategies right. And well, that's basically about me.
All right. So basically, what you're gonna discuss is kind of a bread and butter for you. It's everyday agenda. Yeah, great stuff. All right. Okay. Sasanka, you wanna quickly introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sasank Das, and I started my career as a news anchor, and still I do that for about almost 15 years now. And thereafter, I created an interest towards social media, and I found that LinkedIn is quite interesting and beneficial. And it's all about your audience. It's not about you. It's just not about you. You need to think of your audience, and it's a great place to share knowledge. And I found it quite intriguing to see how people use LinkedIn here in Sri Lanka and overseas as well. So since I have met people of different backgrounds, and there were influencers as well as influencer, right? So then I created my personal branding statement saying, be an influencer, not an influencer. So thereon,
Okay.
I think LinkedIn has been good for me, and I like to share my knowledge and learn from the people whom I connect with. Niroshan.
Great to have you for the show. Yeah. So looking forward to listen to both of you. Yeah. So with that, let's get started with the core. And now, before we actually jump into the questions and talking about the things that we really want to discuss, I would like to hear from the audience. Because we have received quite a lot of questions from the survey we conducted. At the same time, if you are watching us, if you maybe you're watching us in YouTube or on LinkedIn, whatever it is. If you have a question, please drop them in the comment section. It's gonna be visible in our live stream feed, so that we can have a look at them and address some of your questions as well. So let's get started. Now, the first thing first. That's a strange noise, is it? Yeah, so if I can request Sasanka and Amita, if you can just go on mute when you're not talking, that will be, I think, there's some background coming in. Yeah. Okay, so the first question that I want to ask from you is the elevator pitch for LinkedIn. Now, I want you to say why, but I just want you to say it with an elevator pitch. So if you are given 1 minute to tell the audience, this is why everyone should be on LinkedIn, this particular great platform, what is it? What is your elevator pitch that you can tell us in just 60 seconds on LinkedIn? Maybe first, Amita?
Yeah, sure. Well, why LinkedIn? Crucial question. Now, what I believe is every social network has a purpose. We need to know what the purpose of LinkedIn, so then it will be very much easy for us to understand why LinkedIn. If we take Facebook, for example, Facebook is a great platform or a tool to maintain relationships with people you already know in real life at a very personal level. So that's the best purpose of having a Facebook profile. Now, if you try to actually do business on Facebook, sometimes it might sound awkward. So I have seen that happen. I mean, people trying to push their business on Facebook, it sounds a bit awkward, whereas like everybody else is there not to do business, to do the social networking. So YouTube, it's a brilliant tool to gain new knowledge and skills. So why LinkedIn is there, right? So LinkedIn has a purpose too, just like many other social networks. LinkedIn is the best platform that you can think of to improve your professional life, right? Not necessarily the social life, but social professional life, or the professional social life, whichever the way you put it. It's the best platform which you can create new, meaningful human interactions, meaningful human relationships to uplift your professional or entrepreneurial career. And I request everybody to use LinkedIn for that purpose, because there are so many other social networks for you to actually have social interactions and all sort of other things. Start using LinkedIn for building meaningful human relationships for your professional life. If you try to use LinkedIn for any other purpose, which you can get done through Facebook or Twitter or Tinder or whatever other things, you will utterly fail on LinkedIn. So stick to the purpose, building meaningful human relationships for your professional life.
Excellent. Yeah, so I love it, Amita. Yeah, so Sasanka, you wanna jump in answering the same question? What's your elevator pitch for LinkedIn? So you're muted.
I'm sorry. So with what Amita said, I believe LinkedIn is a purple cow, we say in marketing. So it's something that makes you remarkable, right? It makes you unique, and it gives you opportunities through that uniqueness. And for example, if you take, I won't meet you both unless I didn't have a LinkedIn account. So it's simple like that. So okay. I met you both on LinkedIn. If I was not on LinkedIn, I wouldn't have met you. So that's the beauty of LinkedIn.
That's absolutely.
Yeah. So So it's just a matter of being on LinkedIn, being patient and being persistent. It's not an overnight thing. It happens gradually. So
Absolutely.
once you spend some time on LinkedIn and study about what you do and what other people post, and then you can realize what a gold mine LinkedIn is. So talking about the elevator pitch, I think I wanted to be an influencer. Share my knowledge, and I just want to create social change through media and technology. So I relate my content to those aspects. So likewise, I think you need to stick to it, be patient and be persistent. Then it will definitely pay off.
All right, I like it. Thanks for that, Sasanka. So now, just to complement what you both said, so I, when you talk about this, it reminds me about something really great about LinkedIn. Now, as Sasanka mentioned, all of us have met through LinkedIn. I have never met Amita in person, right? So it was just matter of just sending a message to Amita and saying, "Hey, Amita, I am doing this particular live streaming. Would you be part of it?" Right? And of course, I had to do it the right way. Yeah. And as soon as I do, what Amita does is, I know that you are going to come and look at my profile because you won't recall my profile being really obvious to you, right? So I have done this many times with many professionals, including the big credible personalities in the world. That includes now in my domain, right? I'm an agilist. I have spoken to Jeff Sutherland, who is the co-founder of Scrum, right? It's just a matter of sending a message, right? And asking the connection that we need to establish, and it's all limited to that. And the results are absolutely amazing, right? So I have spoken to world champions. I have got in touch with really credible personalities, including influencers, right? I have spoken to a lot of them, and it's just a matter of just sending a message sometimes. But the thing is, your profile needs to be optimized up to a level for them to see that you are a credible professional in your field. Otherwise, what usually happens, right? So the moment you send a message to someone, they're gonna come and jump into your profile, and then if the profile does not sound credible, look credible, I think you lose the opportunity then and there. So that's what we are going to talk about. We are going to kind of help you to get your profile up to a level where you can portray a very credible personality, credible brand. Yeah. So with that, let's move on to the next question. The next question that I basically want to ask is about the LinkedIn basics. So I want to take you through. Now, rather than asking a question, I just want to share some of the tips from my end and then ask my guests to contribute to the discussion. Now, let me share something with you. I'm going to share you something. Sasanka, do you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. Now, the first thing that I want to take your attention is on this. This is something that I came up a few weeks ago, when I started writing the book on personal branding, right? So it's going to be available on Amazon very soon, and this is the beauty of it. So I have done this after spending a lot of years on LinkedIn, after spending a lot of time trying to build my personal branding as an agilist and a project management professional, right? So since you are interested on LinkedIn, I want you to start with this onion. It is called personal branding onion. So it's going to be in the book, right? So I'm sharing you in first hand, and you're the first one to see this concept. Now, where you have to start branding yourself with your mindset, right? Everything starts with a mindset. So that's obvious. But the thing is, this is the most overlooked aspect in human, right? We want to be great. We want to build a great branding without having the proper mindset. So that will not happen, right? So like Buddha said, what you think is what you become, right? If you can think great, that is what you're going to become. So I think what I'm doing here, what Amita, Sasanka, or anyone who is trying to go beyond their limits, what they're trying to do is to challenge their mindset, right? Ensure that they have the right mindset. Now, first question you need to ask: you're interested about LinkedIn, you're interested about branding through LinkedIn. Ask this question: why? What is the reason? What is the biggest reason why you thought you want to be on LinkedIn? So when you ask that question, there's something obvious, right? It's not easy to figure what exactly the reason why you want to be on LinkedIn. So go deeper. Try to understand your core. Try to get to the core, right? So it needs to be connected with the people. It needs to be connected to some valuable service. Otherwise, your branding efforts on LinkedIn is not going to work. So this is valid for an individual. This is valid for an organization, right? So the mindset, the attitude is the first thing. So from there, you start building a basic brand. Now, without the right attitude, it's almost impossible for you to build a better brand. So basic brand in the sense when someone comes to your profile, you want them to feel like, okay, this guy is really professional. This guy knows the subject. This guy is really credible doing the speaking, having a lot of training, talking to professionals, sharing the knowledge. All that has to be part of the basic brand. Yeah. So once you have the basic setup, that is when you can start building the credibility. Now, you can never get to the credibility, establishing the credibility, if you do not set up your basic brand. So building the credibility involves doing a lot of things that happens around you now, including, right, a webinar like this is part of that. That's part of building the credibility. So while you are trying to help you, while you are trying to share our knowledge with you, what we are trying to do is also optimize our own branding, right? So it has to be a win-win. So you need to look for win-win situations to optimize your branding, right? So that you develop and optimize your credibility. The next level of your own greatness branding is building your audience. Now, every one of you are following at least one of, the three of us. At least you follow Amita, at least you follow me, at least you follow Sasanka. Now, without that, you're not going to get interested about anything that we spoke about, right? That we talk about. So that's that. So you need to start building your audience very focusedly. Have a focused attention, right? What are your expertise? What are your domains? So focus on it. Go for it. Then the final thing is the target opportunities. That's why I told you I have been able to get in touch with one of the co-founders of Scrum, right, Jeff Sutherland. Yeah, I mean, at least to contact, at least to just initiate the discussion. So that's an opportunity, right? So like similarly, there will be a lot of credible people around you, right? There'll be a lot of people who can be the clients of you, who can be the colleagues of you, who can work with you, who can be your partners, watching you in your follow-up group. So you need to then target the opportunity. So keep this in your mind. With that, I'm going to quickly run through one thing, right? So in terms of LinkedIn, I want you to look at my own profile. So these are some of the tips that I would like to share at this point. So let me do a quick check. Sasanka, do you see my LinkedIn? So I just want that validation.
You just need to move into your profile. It's in your notifications.
LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I see the LinkedIn, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is my profile. I mean, I'm still in the learning journey, right? But these are some of the tips that really work for me that I want to share with you. And if you look at any credible personality, something is obvious as you go into their profile. Yeah, so that is the clarity. Now, the first thing, the utmost priority that you have to pay your attention is on this. You need to create absolute clarity as people start looking at your profile. Now, as someone lands on your profile, that's one element that, this is called shop window. It's something like, you're passing by a coffee shop you just have a look at the shop window, right? By looking at the shop window, you decide whether you have to go in, you don't go in, right? Because the look of the shop window, the appearance of the shop window itself is enough for you to convince people working in it. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. So in terms of the shop window, I want to show you a magical formula, right? So I'm going to take you back here. So I have basically divided the shop window into 4 elements. Number 1, your headshot. Now look at this, right? So when you look at it, I want people to see me as kind of a credible authority and professional, right? Now, I won't wear the suit, full suit, many times in a year. But I want this to be a quite professional photo, right? So that's the first thing. So, Sasanka, can you go mute? There's a noise. All right, thank you. So the first thing that you have to do is that, right, get your headshot done properly. So I suggest a professional photograph, right? So it doesn't cost you millions. It's just a matter of just having the right focus, getting a proper headshot done. This, of course, I got done through a headshot sponsored by one of the universities I work with, the Next Campus, thanks to them. Yeah, so use that. The second thing is the banner. Now, if you look at any profile, any credible profile, one thing you see here is that they have utilized this space wisely. So what I have done is I have tried creating the clarity around my focus areas. My focus areas are clearly on agile delivery and agile transformation. So I just wanted to get that straight. Yeah. So as someone looks at it, they look at this. And then the picture that you see is one of my keynote speech pictures, right? Why? Because I want to start building credibility around this. So I don't have to tell a lot for me to build the credibility, right? As you see my profile, as you come into my profile window, shop window, it's somewhat obvious, right? That I'm speaking up, I'm focusing on these 2 things, and I look professional, right? Although I don't have hair. Yeah. So now the 4th aspect is this one. Now look at this, right? So I have done little tricks here. One is I have used symbols. Now, every influencer on this platform use this tactic if you look at their profile. So if you haven't used it, start thinking, okay, what are the best symbols that you can use? I have used very simple symbols here. Yeah. So this will allow you to ensure that you outstand, you kind of highlight yourself among the peers. Yeah. So when someone comes to this, this is the first thing that they see. So I want them to be feeling special about my profile. And the other thing that I've done is not to exaggerate. It's something kind of, use an adjective here. Now, without just saying agile delivery, I have said disruptive agile delivery. So I want my audience, my followers, the people visiting me, just to feel like, I'm kind of challenging the status quo. I'm challenging the traditional thinking, right? So I can't exaggerate, of course, because if someone talks to me, they might feel like, okay, what disruptive? This guy is not, just even, averagely good. So that's not going to work. So if you are confident enough to say disruptive, go for it. If you are, confident enough to say innovative, go for it, right? So use an adjective, because an adjective, exciting adjective, is a very effective way of grabbing the attention, because the first thing that you have to do is that grab the attention. So use an adjective, and then your first role. This is my first domain expertise. That's my key focus, right? The second focus area of mine is agile coaching. That's because, I'm also passionate about coaching. So I want to count that as my second priority. My first, topmost priority is paying attention on the agile delivery, being an agile delivery expert, right? Then the third priority is the keynoter. Now, when I say keynoter, I think it's somewhat obvious that I'm talking about keynoting on agile and my expert domain. Yeah. So, and then fourth thing is I have used goal setting here. So I have simply made it clear that what I'm doing with the companies. So I've said helping organizations to be agile. So I think if you do this, it's going to change definitely results. There will be a lot of people coming and visiting you. Yeah, period. So try it. So that's the first thing that I want to discuss. So now I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to get my colleagues to share their thoughts. All right. Now, Sasank, I have a question for you. Can you take us through now? What I was talking about is the shop window. Can you just talk about the profile summary? How can someone optimize their profile summary?
Yeah, sure. So profile summary is all about storytelling, right? So if you take my story, I joined LinkedIn in 2012, and thereafter I was just looking at other people's profiles to identify what they do on LinkedIn. And likewise, after you spend some time on LinkedIn, then you realize how this can be used to create opportunities, right? And thereafter, you can figure out your own way to come up with your content directly to your audience and building that audience, as you said, Hiroshi. And summary, if you take all of the summaries of the three of us, you would see that it has a storytelling format. So in my story, I created these series of videos in 2017. So,
okay. Let me bring up your profile, though.
All right. Okay. That would be beneficial.
So you have used the same thing, right? So what I have been talking about, right? Then when it comes to the profile, okay, this is what it is. Yes.
Yeah. So you can see the summary. So there I have written my story, where I built up my brand and still building it with the learnings of others. So once you do this, you figure out that you become unique and you really give value to your audience in a way that they benefit as well. So I think the three of us, all of us are experiencing that through the profile summary and the content that we do day in, day out. And I believe it's none other than writing a story in your profile summary. And as the word says, it has to be short. That's why it's called a summary. So just say your story in a brief way. So that's the way forward, I think, Hiroshi.
Yeah. Thank you, Sasank. I like it. Yeah, so I want to just again take your attention back to some of the contents that I have created together with Dino Pascella from Australia when we co-authored the book called Double Your Value Through Personal Branding. So it's going to come in June, right? So watch for it. Stay tuned. So it's going to be a game-changing book, right? So we call it game-changing because there are a lot of strategies that we have shared that will absolutely change your game, right? So I want to share some tips from that book itself, right? Complementing what Sasank said. So let me take your attention here. Now, so I basically analyzed one of the credible personalities in our country, one of the great leaders that the country has ever produced, Dhananjay Hettiarachchi, who became the world champion of public speaking in 2014. So again, I chat with him. You know, he's a great support. So I also told him that, hey, Dan, I'm gonna look at your profile, do an analysis in my book. So he said, perfect, go for it, right? So I'm gonna show you his structure, right? So if you want to have a detailed look, search for Dhananjay Hettiarachchi, have a look at his profile summary, and that gives you a lot of tips, right? So he used the format called HAKA. Right, so this is one of the marketing formulas used for pitches. So 4 aspects: create the awareness, comprehension, conviction, and actions. Now, if you look at his profile, it's obvious that he just created the awareness that who Dhananjay Hettiarachchi is all about. He says, as a speaker, I'm doing this. As a coach and a consultant, I'm doing this. Just creating the awareness, then comprehend. So he says, if you want to look at more details, go in. This is what I am doing in my job, right? Then the third thing is conviction. Now it's the opportunity for you to convince people, right? Bring up the credibility. He says, I'm the world champion of public speaking 2014. This is why you should trust that I can help you, right? Finally, actions. He does not directly invite you to do something, but he says, these are the things that I'm engaged in, right? Keynote speaking, keynote, consulting, etc. So this is a great format. I hope this is going to help. Yeah. So Amita, can I just take your attention also on this? Let me stop sharing. Okay. Would you like to share some tips from you, and how does someone craft the best profile summary in LinkedIn?
Yeah, actually, now Niroshan and Sasanka touched upon like the shop window and the profile summary and how what are some of the best practices that you can do to get the profile summary zero in. Let me quickly touch upon this area called the featured section or the featured post on your profile, which can actually add a lot of value to your credibility and your professional profile. Now, Niroshan talked about the shop window, right? Like when you are walking around, you see the shop window and you get attracted and you come in, right? So after you come in, what do you usually keep in the lobby if you are a company in your reception area, right? So when you walk into a company lobby or a reception area, you'll see all the accolades and awards your company won in the recent years. Those things will be showcased in your reception area, right? Same way, in your featured section of your LinkedIn profile, you can feature some of the key highlights of your career. You can bring out some of the key achievements in your career into your featured section. Now, for example, by showcasing these key talents as like featured post or your recent achievements as featured post, what you can do is you can get immediate attention of the people who are looking at your profile. Now, Niroshan talked about the importance of getting that attention. Now, imagine a situation where maybe you're looking out for a job, right? And recruiters are searching on LinkedIn for certain keywords and finds your profile. And they land on your profile, and in the featured section, you give them like maybe let's say 2 or 3 best reasons why they should hire you in the featured section. Consultants or maybe even small business owners, they can use this space, the featured space, to showcase their top offerings, top products. So let me quickly share my screen, Niroshan, and show how someone can actually use this section.
Yep.
Right, I'm sharing my Chrome screen, and let me go back to my LinkedIn. All right, can you see my LinkedIn feed?
Let me take that. Yes, now we can see.
Right, okay. So what you need to do is now, once you are on your LinkedIn profile, you can of course edit your own profile. Scroll down and you will come to this section which we call as a featured section. Now, in my profile, I have added just one featured post at the moment. But if you want to add more, what you can do is simply click on this plus icon here, and you can add from your recent post or your recent articles, or you can add an external link, or maybe you can add media, maybe a photograph from a recent award event where you won maybe a gold award or silver award in your industry. You can add those media links, right? So let me quickly show to add the post. Just click on this and it will show you all your recent posts on LinkedIn. Now, these are some of my recent posts on LinkedIn. Now, this video, for example, I can simply click on feature and it will get added to my featured section. Now I have 2 featured posts likewise. So you can actually add anything, as I said. I mean, your recent posts, your recent articles, or media, videos, and photos from recent events that you've been featured. You can do. And one more thing, actually, to add to the profile summary, I would like to draw your attention to your experience section, right? Now, I mean, I know like most people, they update their experience section really well. But one feature most of us are not using properly is this feature of adding media to your job role. Now, for example, my role as a digital marketing trainer at Apidem, I have added some of my video links where I've done some like public speaking engagements and public speaking training programs. So likewise, for all your past roles, you can actually add media so that you can actually enrich your profile. And Niroshan, shall I go to the custom URL point as well?
Yes, please, Amita. Yes.
Surely. So the next thing is the searchability and all matters, right? So the shareability of your link. Now, by default, you will get a string of numbers in your profile URL from LinkedIn. Now, it's always advised to customize it, get a custom profile link for your profile. To do this, once you are on your profile, just click on this on your right hand side section. You see edit public profile and URL. You simply click on this and it will allow you to edit your URL. Now, I have actually already taken my custom URL as Ami Sampath, the usual username I use on almost all of my social media profiles. So I can simply cancel it. And not only this is where you will change your custom URL. Not only this, in the same screen, let me show you a couple of other things that you can do. Your profile visibility, right? Now, if you are on LinkedIn to get noticed by other people, to build a personal brand for yourself, I mean, it doesn't make any sense for you to restrict who can view your profile, right? So, for example, my basic information, it's by default, is required to be shown, and my profile photo, I made it public. Anyone on LinkedIn or off LinkedIn, Google, everywhere, they can actually see. And all these other information, right? Background photo, headline, website, articles, everything I have set it to publicly visible by everybody. Now you'll see, you'll find it quite different if you check my Facebook profile versus my LinkedIn profile. On my Facebook profile, I have made everything either private or friends only. So I told you, each network is having a purpose. For me, Facebook, my purpose is to actually having a very close relationship with my known friends. So I made everything private or friends only on my Facebook, but on my LinkedIn, I have nothing to hide. Everything is public. When someone searches for me on LinkedIn or on Google, they will start seeing me through various different keywords, because on my profile, I added industry-related keyword like digital marketing trainer, digital marketing professional, digital marketing consultant, agency, and all sort of keywords which are related to my industry. So when someone is searching for me on LinkedIn or off LinkedIn on other search engines like Google, they'll discover me. And you can actually see who is viewing your profile on a regular basis. So if you look at like during past few days, or rather past week or two, 1,725 people have viewed my profile. So I've been discovered by more than 1,700 people during the past couple of weeks. So this is what you can do if you let the visibility open for more people, rather than actually restricting it to your first degree contacts or your second degree contacts. All right, so let me stop sharing and we can go to the next topic, next question.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, that's fabulous set of tips. Amit, thanks for sharing. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is on the connections. I think Sasanka is master of it. Someone is shouting behind you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but there's a background noise. But I think it should be okay. The audience will bear it up. Yeah. So the question I want to ask from you now, let's say I have got into LinkedIn, I have done all of it, I have optimized my profile up to a level where I'm happy. Right now, I want to connect with people. Now, can you tell us some tips that you personally use to connect with the right audience? First thing, how do you know that it's the right audience, right connections, and then how do you connect with them?
Yeah, Niroshan, I think this is the most fascinating aspect of LinkedIn as far as I'm concerned, because once you maintain your profile for some time and then you realize that your profile is visible and you start to gain visibility, then you can think of connecting with people. And there is one word that I use when connecting with people or talking about connecting with people on LinkedIn, that is seamless. It's limitless. You have an ability that you can seamlessly connect with people. It doesn't matter their social status, their profession, or whatever. It's just a matter of sending them a message to connect with them. But to do that, you should have a profile which is credible, right? So, as Amit said, we can focus on the fact that we need to clearly understand or differentiate between the content that you post on LinkedIn and other social networks. So likewise, when you start posting content on LinkedIn, as I initially said, you need to think of your audience. It's not about you. Once in a way, you could share your own original posts, but that is about 10% of the weightage of the entire content plan that you have. So you need to always think of your audience. How do you create value to your audience? How do you raise awareness about what you do and subjects that you're interested in? Then you get people connecting with you. Then you create visibility. People start looking at your profile. On LinkedIn, there is this fascinating option where it's a great option. When someone visits your profile, they show you, they say that this so-and-so viewed your profile. So if you want, you can connect with them. Otherwise, they might connect with you before that. So that depends on the power of your profile. And as you said initially, whether the person whom I connect with will create value for me, that will be a question that they will be asking themselves. So talking about connections, once you build your profile, it's a matter of fact that you need to align with what you have in your bio. Maybe you need to connect with a person. He or she may not be related to your audience, your core audience. So then you can decide whether you want to connect with them or not, right? And the other thing is, you may have the number of followers, maybe less, maybe huge. But the right connection matters. So let's say if you relate to the story, Niroshan, you and me connecting on LinkedIn and meeting physically as well. So that's all about LinkedIn. It's about the content that we posted, content that we created. So that's how it happens. So you need to be consistent. That is one thing. When you become consistent in posting your content, then people will visit your profile frequently and see what you're doing, what you have new for them, what's new. So that then they will be intrigued to look at your content and there onwards maybe share it with other people and maybe refer it to others, and they will introduce you to other people as well. In turn, you build your network. So connecting with the right person at the correct time matters. So you need to be patient, consistent, and persistent. That's what I believe.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you for your tips. Yeah, so just to, I think, compliment what Sasanka said. Sasanka, I just want to, let me share my screen again, just to show you something that I do personally when I want to connect with. So here, now let's say I want to connect with people, right? Now, of course, first connections are already connected, right? That's why it's first connection. Now, if I want to connect with anyone from the second level of connections, what I do is this. I search for that, right? When I apply this, you will see that these are the second level connections. Now, for example, Kanishka Veeramonda is a second connection who is definitely a connection of one of my first connections. Now I go in, right? When I go in, now LinkedIn, the latest version, which was released in 2017, has a magical feature that really helps you to filter out the quality connections. Now, see, there are 130 mutual connections between two of us, right? So it's guaranteed that if I send a connection request to Kanishka, he's going to accept it, right? So let me just not click now. Yeah, so I can click on show more and see the magic here, right? Now it gives you more insights that may be useful. So he says, you both studied at Sikkim Manipal University of Health, Medical and Technology Sciences. Probably I have met him, or I have at least heard of him, right? He would have feel the same. So when I send the connection, it's not a big thing for him, right? He's just gonna connect it. It's definitely a quality connection than someone who does not have any sense of our relationship. Yeah, they're gonna worry about you. They're gonna go deep and just check on your profile. So if this is one thing that I saw. So you can use that, right? So go into the search option, or if you come across a profile that you think you need to connect, go into their profile, look into the highlight section, and then when I send the connection request, I basically create a common ground. So I think this is a great way of persuading people. Now, if I want him to say yes, I'm going to say, hey, looks like we both studied in Sikkim Manipal University, and it's I would love to connect with you. That will be perfectly enough for him to say yes and accept that, right? Then it's all about connecting with him. So I think that's gonna be helpful for you if you haven't used this feature. Try that. It's gonna definitely give you a lot of quality connections. Yeah. So let me back.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
So this is something which I wanted to mention. So when you're connecting with people, this is something I have experienced by myself, right? You need to give value to the person whom you're connecting with. It's a matter of respecting that person. That matters a lot. So I think both of you would agree as well. So it has worked for me, and it definitely will work for you. So that's what I just wanted to chip in and say, Hiroshi.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. So with that, let's move on. So we have 10 minutes. I think we'll try to wrap up the discussion on time. But later we will plan if need be. We can plan for future discussion. And so we are actually thinking of a LinkedIn masterclass together with Amita as well. It's at the the planning level. So we probably will keep you posted on that. So anyway, Amita is already on such courses. So if you want to reach out to him, do reach out to him, inquire about the offerings that he has. Definitely will have a lot of options. So together, three of us are planning something really value adding as well. So which is going to be probably 4 to 6 hours of masterclass. We're gonna provide you jam-packed strategies for you to optimize your branding, right? So with that, so let me just say thank you to Sandeep. Yeah, so the next thing that I want to ask from Amita is a question that came from the audience when we asked them, okay, tell us any questions, pain points that you want us to answer, right? One participant, survey participant simply responded with this question, which I think is a critical question that everyone needs to know. So that is how to create engaging content. So it's everyone's concern. Now I want to create contents, right? I may have the right confidence. Yeah. Now the question is, how do I ensure that my content is going to be engaging? That means a lot of people react and comment on it.
Yeah.
Amita?
Yeah, actually, engagement on social media is quite an interesting topic, which we can actually keep on talking for hours and hours. But say when it comes to engagement or creating engaging content, what works and what doesn't work on LinkedIn, it's quite different from some of the other social media platforms. Now, in most other social networks, in most other social media platforms, what works best are emotional content. We know, you either make the person cry or you make the person laugh, right? So it's very much emotional. You look at the YouTube trending list, for example, it's all emotions driven. The engagement.
It's all, yes.
So, but on LinkedIn, I'd say what engage us the best are seemingly rational content. I use the word seemingly because end of the day, engagement happens with emotions, right? On LinkedIn, the difference is you are not making people cry or you are not making people laugh, but you are giving them rational and objective facts to engage with, and when they engage, it's all their emotions at work. So that's why I'm saying it's seemingly rational, but it's your deep down emotion which prompts you to actually engage with the content. Now, for example, we all know that LinkedIn is a professional network, so by default we expect all the content to be rational and objective on LinkedIn. But for example, like educational content and statistics, right? Those type of content work like magic. For example, about a couple of days back, I shared a post about comparing Zoom versus top 5 airlines of the world, how Zoom is more valuable than the top 5 airlines in the world. Now that's a statistic, right? The number comparison. That type of content gets real big traction because people won't actually look at the numbers, compare the numbers, and then bring out their own opinions, create discussions. So that type of things really get going. And a couple of tips actually, one more thing, this inspirational content. Right now, a lot of people believe that inspirational content works on LinkedIn, but I would say it's compared to those statistical or educational content, inspirational posts will still work based on Facebook, right? Yeah. But on LinkedIn, inspirational posts might not get the same traction that you would see on Facebook. Now, contrary to that, you need to bring out content which are as I said, seemingly rational and objective, but never live with 100% conclusive, right? So that's the tip, right? When you post something, make it rational, objective, yes, bring out the numbers, facts, figures, everything, but don't conclude what is right or wrong. leave it open-ended. Then the people will be encouraged to bring out with their own opinion about the matter. Right? If you conclude it, this is the absolute truth or this is the absolute thing, then there's nothing else for other people to engage with that. You have already concluded. So you bring out your facts, figures, and everything, and leave it open-ended for other people also to add their 2 cents. So then you will start actually seeing real huge content. One more thing about like the formats of content, right? Now, if you are a blogger or a video blogger on LinkedIn, I have to tell you that it's completely different from YouTube. What you might be doing on YouTube, it might not work on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, if you are creating like video content, it has to be content with a singular topic, just one topic per video, and make it less than 3 minutes. Then you will start seeing huge traction, right? I mean, similar type of content work on Facebook as well, but on LinkedIn, that works really well. Now, this same piece, if you put it on YouTube, it won't work the same way it works on LinkedIn, because on YouTube, people expect lengthier content with much more elaborations. So you have to actually go at least 10 minutes to elaborate on the point, and you can bring out so many other adjacent points as well to make that video comprehensive. But on LinkedIn, 3 minutes, one point, just talk about it, and you will see the engagement coming in. Anything else?
So maybe Sasanka. Sasanka, you have anything?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Amita said. It's exactly the way which people engage depends on their psychology at times, right? If you take the top trending videos on YouTube in Sri Lanka and the top trending videos on YouTube in the US, you see that clear difference. So you see a clear difference how people think. So it matters that how we tackle the psychology of the people. And one thing I want to mention is when you tell a story, this is something which I have tried, and it gets good engagement. When you tell a story, that creates engagement too. It may be a story related to your country or any other country. It doesn't matter. However, a story, I think in all forms of digital media, stories create that engagement. So that's my personal experience. So I think when you write a story or record a story on video, you will have engagement, and with a proper moral at the end of that. That would lead to success.
Yeah, actually, may I add one point to what Shashanka just mentioned about like storytelling? I mean, a great example is this LinkedIn, well-known, popular LinkedIn influencer Oleg. I mean, very few people can pronounce his second name. I think he's having about like 1.8 million followers on LinkedIn, and just look at the stories. Post he shares, everything is a story. Everything is a story which he can personally relate, and that story has a management lesson for the professionals on LinkedIn. So that's the beauty of it. And thousands of people actually comment, share, and view those posts. So I think that's really important. The storytelling part is really important. I think there's a question also, Niroshan, displayed on the screen about like these emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to engagement, we can relate it back to that gentleman's content, Oleg's content. He draws in emotions really well, while keeping the facts and figures also clear. Right? He brings out the story with emotions, and there is a factual thing as well, or something to learn for the professionals as well. So you have to strike that balance really well. As I said earlier, people never engage with rational things. We'll go through rational things, but our engagement is always emotional. you'll have to either agree or disagree, and then you start the conversation. So that's how typically things happen.
Very agree. So it's actually an art than a science nowadays, right? So that's why I think emotions plays a major role in grabbing the attention. Now, Gary Vayner, right? Gary Vayner says grabbing the attention is the topmost challenge nowadays, because there are a lot of people doing the same thing, and they need to outstand for you to grab your attention, right? Others' attention. And when you grab the attention, then you have the opportunity to convince and persuade people, right? So grabbing the attention will start with the emotional aspect of it, right? So that's where I think when you post, you need to associate your content always with a picture or a video, right? Make it visual, right? I mean, you can do experiment just putting a text, right? I mean, it works at times when the message is clear, and if you're someone like Tony Robbins or Gary Vayner, people don't mind whether you use image or not. But when you start building a brand, you got to associate these visuals appropriately, right? And in storytelling, particularly, creating that excitement is absolutely required. So without creating a quest, creating an excitement for the audience, they're not gonna come into your details, right? So even when I post, I later learn get your first sentence absolutely clear on your message, kind of questioning, right? Provoking thought. Have you ever come across a challenging situation? Then that's the first thing that the people see, right? Like Amita suggested, use some emotions there, right? Try to generate some positive or some useful emotions, right? Maybe humor, maybe fear, right? Maybe insecurity. All that will really help you to make it engaging. Yeah. So Nevin actually has a valid question. So this is a question I had at many times. What do you think about the connections? Does the engagement depends on followers as well? I think definitely, right? So based on how many followers you have, it depends. That's the starting point, I would say, right? If it's absolutely game changing, really exciting content, I mean that does not matter. But I think as a principle, we need to look for the right followers who will support your cause, who will look like have the same attitude. So they're gonna amplify your efforts, right? They're gonna share your contents, and then probably their second level connections are also somewhat connected to the same domain. Yeah. So Amita, I mean, you wanna add anything on that quickly?
Yeah, actually, like the engagement and connections, the dependency between the followers on that point. One thing is LinkedIn engagement on your post. It has to be kind of that like thing, give and get thing, right? So you have to engage with your network for you to expect them to engage on your post, your content as well. It has to be always a conversation, not a broadcast, right? We are like I'm the broadcaster, and I broadcast my messages, and then I expect my followers to engage with me. No, it won't happen like that. You have to actually engage with their content as well, and especially you have to respond. I mean, this is something that I follow religiously. You have to respond to every single comment that your followers are leaving on your content. Right? I mean, even if just a simple thank you comment, you go and reply, "You are welcome," right? And give a like or a thumbs up right there. You have to do that. Right? Then only you actually give due respect to that person who took that time off their day just to leave that comment on your content. You have to appreciate that. And at the same time, you have to go out and like engage with other people's content again meaningfully, not for the sake of leaving comments. You have to actually really truly understand the content, and you have to have an opinion, a point of view, then go and leave a comment, not just to actually go jump into the conversation there. You have to have an opinion, a point of view, go and join that conversation and enrich that conversation. So those are some of the great ways you can get the engagement around. It's a give and get thing. You can't expect only your content will get engagement. It's a community, so we have to actually have the community level engagement going all the time.
All right, excellent. Thank you. So now, with that, I think we got to wrap up the discussion. But I want to do two more things before we wrap up. Number one, I want to share you something really gonna change your game of profiling people around you, right? So let me show you the screen. So this is something that is absolutely useful for every one of us. And the tool is called Crystal, right? I'm not going to log in and show you the details, but here, this is how it works, right? So it's a Chrome plugin. So what you have to do is to download the plugin. It's a Chrome add-on actually. Download the Chrome add-on. As you download it, you get a little icon, like a flower diamond icon here, right? So when you click on that, it asks you to log into that. Now, as you log into this, what it does is it allows you to look at any profile and do a detailed analysis. That gives insights like what kind of personality is this person, right? What is his interest? What are the areas that he's really keen? When you start communicating with the person, what are the things that you should avoid? What are the things that you should do? So this is basically a game changer for people who really want to establish the real connections. I learned this from a scale-up investor, as well as not invest actually. He owns a company. So we did a session together on entrepreneurship. He was sharing some of the tips that we need to follow in terms of connecting with people. So one thing he does is he get into this particular tool, look at the profile, go through his profile, study the profile in detail, and then he knows how to tackle the discussion. So try it. The tool name is Crystal. So you are offered 10 free analysis, right? You can evaluate 10 people free. Use that wisely. It's gonna end up soon. Yeah. So if you really like the tool, of course, go for it. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to do is let me stop it, sharing. So the second thing that I want to do is do a quick checkout. So I'm going to ask our speakers to do a checkout while I invite all of you to just answer us one question. Can you just put one thing that you really learned here? One thing that you thought, okay, this is fantastic. I did not know this. Thanks for sharing it. So just put your comments, whether you are on LinkedIn or YouTube, drop your comments in the comment section. So it's a great privilege to know that the session has benefited you. So while I request all of you to do that, let me ask first, maybe Sasanka. So tell me one thing that maybe during the discussion, how you felt, what was your learning as a speaker in this session?
I think there are a few learnings, Dirushan. I think Amita touched on very insightful facts, and that's a learning for me personally. So and that's a privilege as well. So, and this type of knowledge sharing platforms, through the engagement, we will be able to share knowledge more and more and help people to build their LinkedIn profiles and make them benefit out of that. And I believe, and big thank you to the people who have joined us, the friends who have joined us in this live today, because joining on this live is a privilege for us. And we hope that you are satisfied with what we discussed. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach to us. We will be enough and more. We'll be happier than anything else to help you out. So I think it was a fruitful conversation and quite interesting as well. I believe we should continue this, and let's see what the people will say and build on it.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. With that, Amita, any takeaways for you?
Actually, it was absolutely a wonderful discussion. Thank you, Niroshan, for coordinating it and inviting me for it. I personally learned quite a lot, especially what you talked about, like the ACHA approach of Dhananjay, right? So I mean, I'm going to actually go back and do a bit of additional research on that. And these type of sessions, as Sasanka mentioned, it's really important for people to actually gain knowledge and to use these tools properly to improve their career and generate business leads and all sort of stuff. And one final note, actually for all our viewers and people who are actually watching this, maybe the recording later on. Now, Niroshan talked about how he used LinkedIn to connect with some of the global leaders in his industry. I've done the same, right? I've done the same. So my appeal to the Sri Lankan LinkedIn community, the people who are getting on board, because I mean, we have now more than 1.2 million LinkedIn users in Sri Lanka, monthly active users in Sri Lanka. Every month we are adding about 50,000 new users. So as we grow, my appeal to the Sri Lankan LinkedIn community is, let's use this tool to go global, making global connection and make things really big. Because we are really good at actually making global things local, right? So let's
I know. I think our people like that approach as well, right? So it's easy for us to go global and then come local.
Exactly. So this is actually a gateway to the world. LinkedIn. I mean, at one point I was actually figured out that I'm actually four links away from Barack Obama on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So it's just 4 connections, 3 or 4 connections. I mean, it's a gateway to the world. Use this tool wisely. Make these connections from industry leaders from the region, from around the world, and use that to improve your career, improve your business, and try to put the Sri Lanka on the world map using this tool. So that's my last appeal to the entire LinkedIn community in Sri Lanka.
I love that.
Niroshan, let me add to that. I think this is the best platform to take Sri Lanka to the map, as Amita said. That's the correct word. Because all of us have done that and we are in the process of doing it. So once you build up your profile consistently, as we discussed, it is a matter of connecting with the right people and going into those global collaborations, which will benefit the country as well as all of us. So be an influencer, and LinkedIn is a red cloud, because I say that if you go when you wake up tomorrow and you see a red cloud, you will definitely look at it. So that's how your LinkedIn profile should be. So people should be able to look at you at a glance and then grab that attention through your profile. So that's what matters. That's how you stand out. So you are born to stand out. So let's do it. Thank you very much, Niroshan, for inviting me, and it has been a pleasure exchanging experience, knowledge, and sharing all of that with you both. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Amita.
Thank you.
Yeah, so to conclude from my end, so I recon what Amita and Sasanka said. Particularly, I really want to re-emphasize what Amita said, right, in terms of message for our LinkedIn community. Use this as a platform to go global. It definitely works. So if you just ask me, I'm co-authoring a book with an Australian that I have never met, right? So I invited him for a live streaming discussion 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and that was the time we started discussing. I was already on my way to complete my book. Then I thought, why not collaborate? I simply invited him to co-author the book with me, knowing that he has a lot of game-changing insights, right? So I'm co-authoring the book with him. So he has 100,000 followers, right? So I mean, this great viewers. He's Dino Pashala, that my co-author, who is co-authoring the book called Double Your Value Through Personal Branding. Now again, the other message that I want to attach to this is, don't get confused the personal branding with your profession. Whether you are a mason boss or you are the president of the country, branding has to be there, because if you do not do the branding, others will do the branding for you. So that's the closing word from me, right? Because you need to play it consciously. You need to drive the branding strategy consciously, so that you get the people to get to know about you the way you want them to know you, right? Otherwise, they will have their own perception about your brand, about you. So with that, I think we are going to wrap up. Thanks a lot for your time, Amita. Thanks a lot for your time, Sasanka. It's really my privilege to have you for this discussion. Yeah.
The pleasure is mine, Roshan.
Yep. So goodbye, everyone. We will see you with another exciting discussion like this. Until then, may the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.